Hey, Timmy here. Today we'll be talking about the schools I'm applying to. Well, at the moment anyways, I'm sure there will be more as we move along. And the schools are Juilliard School, the Tisch School of the Arts under New York University, the Columbia School of the Arts, the New School School of Drama, the Yale School of Drama, and the Theatre School at DePaul University. There we have it. Thank you very much. Goodbye. No, of course not. We're gonna dive more into it, like the why and some of the things that I've learned in the application process, which is still going on actually. So, why these 6 schools? Well, in the beginning, I was only applying for the 4 schools in New York because I know that's where I want to be. But after thinking more about it, after talking to more people about it, I realized I shouldn't limit myself. I should venture out and I should look out for all the other schools that are good, but not in New York too. Right now, I'm looking at Yale and DePaul because these 2 schools have a reputation, so to speak. Well, DePaul, what I've been told is that it has quite a good theater program and quite some notable alumni from the school, and apparently it has a new building for theater. And as to Yale, well, Meryl Streep is from Yale. Do I need to say more? And one big reason for applying for these 2 is because of the location of the audition. Well, while DePaul is located in Chicago, they will be having auditions in New York, and that would be nice because I'll be making a trip down to New York next January. As to Yale, while it is not holding auditions in New York, it is located in New Haven, Connecticut, which from what I've looked up is about an hour, maximum 2 hours away from New York, which is not too bad, so I'll just make a day trip down. Wherever the school is located at, I've learned from my application process that the work is similar, so you might as well make good use of your material. And this is the next thing I want to talk about, which is the similarities, or actually the things you should look out for when you're applying for drama school, because so far it all looks the same. From what I'm seeing now, they all look pretty similar to me, like there's a pattern to it. Number 1, deadlines. Well, I'm putting this first because I feel like it's pretty obvious if you're past the deadline for your school's application that there's no point applying. If you're not past the deadline, it's still good to know because instead of a generic December/January, if you're applying to multiple schools like I am, it will help you prioritize which application to complete first. And there are also types of deadlines. Most schools have a deadline for their online application and then another deadline to send in all of the other materials that they need, such as your test scores, your transcripts, your recommendation letters, which we will talk about later. But it's good to know all of these dates so that you don't miss anything. And from my application process, I'm learning that the deadlines can be as early as December 1st and as late as, say, January 15th or even February 15th if you're applying for financial aid. Well, I think the essay bit is a very generic part of applying to American schools. I think all schools will need you to write some form of essay, but just watch out if they need any special topic, such as your artist statement. Well, to me, and I know some might disagree, but the artist statement, or some call it the statement of purpose, is still a form of essay. It's just that you write about yourself. So that, to me, is considered as a special topic essay. And this is what I am doing about it. Well, this is what I am not doing about it. What I'm not doing is I am not sending the same essay to all the schools I'm applying for. Because everyone knows we're not supposed to do that. You can have a generic draft, yes, but try to customize your essay for all the schools you're applying for. Because that just shows that you care about each and every one of the school you're applying for. Number 3, transcripts. Well, I don't know how it works for American students because I did not get an American education, but as an international student, more often than not, they want us to send in our transcripts, and more often than not, they want it in English. And this is where I feel very fortunate because I studied in an institution. And this is where I feel very fortunate because I studied in an institution. And this is where I feel very fortunate because I did my undergraduate in an institution that uses English as its medium of instruction. But even so, I have to send in my transcripts to some online evaluator to verify my degree because, I don't know, these American schools just don't trust that degrees obtained from other countries are just as good as theirs. And what annoys me about this is that different schools use different evaluators, and sending in my transcripts for each of these evaluators would cost me money. Like, if you already know you're gonna ask international applicants to get their transcripts evaluated, why can't you have a standardized board? But anyways, it's just something that needs to get done. So if your transcripts are not in English, get them translated to English. Some schools might specify a specific body that they want translations from, but if they don't, you can just do it on your own and then just get it evaluated by an online evaluator. Sometimes they come in a package as they'll translate for you and then they evaluate it for you and just send them over. Money, 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 pay the cost, pay the money, pay the money. Number 4, or is it number 3? I think it's number 4. Whoops! I wish I could do more, but this is all the time I have this week because I have other things to attend to, such as classes, auditions, rehearsals, and like many Malaysian actors, gigs that don't pay me well enough, so I have to continue this in another video. Meanwhile, if you know any other schools that will be holding auditions in New York from mid-January 2019, do let me know. Please let me know. I would love to apply for them and go for the audition because I've been told I'm such an audition whore. And in the coming video, I will continue to list out the things to look out for when applying for an American school, especially for theatre school, which will include recommendation letters, your English test, fees, as well as auditions. And if you would like to come along on my journey towards becoming a master's student in the performing arts, remember to follow and subscribe. Bye!